Let's dive into the latest leaks surrounding the highly anticipated Samsung Galaxy S25 lineup. We've got renders and specs for not just the base model, but also the S25 Plus and the S25 Ultra. So if you're curious about what's coming early next year, stay tuned. First up, let's talk about the base model, the Samsung Galaxy S25. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of excitement in the design department. According to leaks, the S25 looks almost identical to the S24. We've got the same triple camera setup on the back and a selfie camera embedded in the display on the front. Even the screen bezels don't seem to be getting any smaller. So it's safe to say that the design won't be blowing anyone away this time around. But what about the specs? That's where things get a bit more interesting. Rumor has it the Galaxy S25 will have a 4,000 mAh battery, just like the S24. However, we might see an increase in RAM, going from 8GB to 12GB, which should help the phone handle more advanced AI features. The big mystery right now is the processor. Will Samsung stick with the Exynos chip in Europe, or will we see a global release with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4? Historically, Snapdragon has outperformed Exynos in terms of efficiency and speed, so fingers crossed for a Snapdragon-only release. Moving on to the Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus. The leaks suggest that this model will be slightly thinner than its predecessor, the S24 Plus. It's going to be just 7.3 millimeters thick, which is a small but noticeable difference. The Plus model also features a 6.7-inch OLED display and the same 4,900 mAh battery as the S24 Plus, along with 12 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage. Again, the question is whether we'll get the Snapdragon in 8 Gen 4 or an Exynos variant. Either way, the design follows a similar path to the S25, with flat sides and rings around the camera lenses for a fresh look. Now let's talk about the big one, the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. This is where we might see some real design changes. The S25 Ultra is rumored to have rounder corners compared to the boxy design of the S24 Ultra. It will still boast ultra-thin bezels and that gorgeous large display, but the changes here are more about refinement rather than a complete overhaul. Like the S25 Plus, the Ultra is expected to have 12 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage, but with a larger 5,000 mAh battery, perfect for those who need more juice throughout the day. As for when we can get our hands on these new devices, the Galaxy S25 series is expected to launch in mid-January 2025, based on previous years. After that, we're looking at a release date a few weeks later. It's possible Samsung might surprise us with an earlier launch, but for now, January is the safe bet. So, to wrap things up, the Samsung Galaxy S25 and S25 Plus don't bring huge design changes, but the S25 Ultra might offer a more polished look. With boosted RAM and likely improved AI functionality, these phones could still be a hit even without major visual updates. Are you excited about the Galaxy S25 lineup, or are you happy sticking with the S24 for now? Let me know in the comments below.